Yeah, I love my wife with all my heart. She's my backbone. You're a blessing. You're the beats in my heart. You're the air I breathe. And you're the strongest person I know. Dad, I'm so sorry.
What if grief wasn't something you survived, but something the world made you prove again and again? Vanessa Bryant isn't just mourning a husband, she's defending her right to move forward. Only those who fully comprehend where I've been the mistakes, heartbreak, and soul-searching can truly accompany me into the next chapter of my life. When people see Vanessa Bryant linked to another man, speculating whether she's moved on from Kobe, they easily dismiss it as disloyalty. But the truth is deeper and more nuanced. She has boundaries, expectations, and a life story that doesn't belong to everyone. Not just anyone gets a pen in her narrative. The hidden strains within a celebrated marriage. Many remember Kobe and Vanessa Bryant as symbols of loyalty and unwavering devotion, a couple who weathered the highs of NBA championships and the tragedies of miscarriage and public scandal. Their union, forged in youthful romance and sustained through 2 decades, inspired millions. Yet beneath the golden veneer, intimate cracks sometimes appeared. Before Kobe's tragic passing on January 26, 2020, whispers circulated, subtle, unverified rumors suggesting Vanessa might have acted in ways that nearly shattered the trust between them. Whether these were exaggerated tabloids or moments of real marital strain, they spoke to a more complicated love story. The near-miss traditions. Bold rumors implied Vanessa entertained her own romances. Others claimed Kobe faltered too. In a world that thrives on scandal, even the most hopeful marriage is fair game. Yet few paused to consider the private exchanges, late-night talks, tearful confrontations, the bonds only couples in crisis share. Those moments of vulnerability and near betrayal don't always spell ruin. Sometimes they forge deeper connection. Marriage beyond the spotlight. When love lives under the public microscope, every dinner, every whispered thought, can become a scandal. Vanessa and Kobe, though shielded by success, couldn't insulate themselves from the world's scrutiny. They had arguments, doubts, and lapses like any couple. For some fans, that tarnished their legacy. For others, it simply underscored their humanity. In the aftermath of loss, tribute, pain, criticism following Kobe's death, Vanessa became more than a grieving widow. She was the champion of a legacy, Mamba mentality, relentless pursuit of greatness, and a family's emotional resilience. The internet responded with tributes like Gigi Roses, a gesture made by Jack, their youngest daughter, honoring Gianna by planting roses on her grave. It was touching, poignant, and deeply personal. Yet once the tributes faded from the headlines, focused scrutiny returned. Dating without permission. As Vanessa began re-emerging in public spaces, red carpets, events, supportive causes, people quickly pounced on her interaction with men. Paparazzi photos of Vanessa with male companions ignited speculation. Was she dating? Was she trying to move on too soon? The degrees of outrage were telling. Suspicion before closure. Photos of Vanessa and a friend sparked headlines. Was Vanessa seen holding hands? Overnight, interpretations ranged from platonic to premonitory betrayal. The phantom pregnancy. When rumors swirled that Vanessa might be expecting again, forces of social media erupted. Some fans projected anger, accusing her of disrespecting Kobe. Another baby without Kobe seemed unacceptable to many. Living, not acting. Meanwhile, Vanessa quietly continued her life, raising Natalia, Bianca, and Capri, managing global projects and charitable initiatives, championing women's empowerment, education, and mental health. But few reflected on that. Why are women still policed for grief? Here's where the real problem lies, not with Vanessa's choices, but with collective insecurity. As she asserts her autonomy, a segment of the public snarl, "Stay sad, stay alone." Double standards in moving on. If Kobe had lived, no one would have paused at his first public dinner without Vanessa. His career, relationships, and agency are rarely judged that way. Grief as a gendered expectation. We expect widows to remain in perpetual mourning. Vanessa is expected to be frozen in time until the rest of us feel comfortable acknowledging her healing, and that's simply unfair. Ownership of legacy. There's an implicit phenomenon: fans projecting entitlement over Kobe's memory. If you loved him, you don't live like this. But grief is personal, variable, and not a performance. Perspective. A daughter's defense. The couple's daughter, Natalia, who was with Kobe and Gianna the day of the helicopter crash, has lived a unique life in public, bearing witness to everything. Adoration for her parents. Rumors of betrayal, public grief, tabloid speculation about her mother. Now, Natalia is stepping forward. A witness to love and flaws. Childhood memories include celebrations, support, love, but also tension. The kind of tension that most families conceal. Natalia knows them both as heroes and humans. An advocate from the inside. Rather than letting external narratives run wild, she seeks to reframe the story. This reframing is intimate, not for clicks. Acceptance of a grieving mother's process. Defiance of rumormongers, and respect for privacy. A widow's journey. From mourning to selfhood, Vanessa's journey cannot be reduced to a timeline. Her experience spans immediate shock and healing. The early months after January 2020 were a fog. What followed wasn't just mourning, it was days of navigating loss in front of a global audience, finding purpose, from Mamba and Mombasita Sports, Foundation to art exhibitions, advertising campaigns, and advocacy. Vanessa has built active hope, personal rebirth, as she heals. Choosing companionship, friendships, or romantic interest isn't betrayal, it's progress. Rather than spotlighting every photograph or rumor, we might instead ask, how does grief coexist with growth? Can a widow dare to build again? What does autonomy mean when your life has become part of public pantheon? By policing her dating life and pregnancies, the public effectively demands eternal widowhood, the equivalent of insisting she be trapped in grief forever. That isn't mercy. It's dominance. Legacy as liberation. Vanessa's story is more than adversity, it's a lesson in reclaiming narrative. She reminds us, imperfection doesn't erase love. Relationships have cracks, even ones that ended tragically. Acknowledging that doesn't diminish their bond, it enriches it. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. Vanessa can hold Kobe's memory close while re-emerging. Both are possible. Agency isn't drama. If Vanessa chooses to see someone or feels a new chapter beginning, that's strength, not betrayal. Public grief isn't a show. The tabloids demand tears and sob stories. She doesn't owe them that. Final thought. What do we want from her? Perhaps what we truly want beneath the spectacle is Vanessa to stay sad enough, single enough, a living shrine to Kobe. That's a powerful demand, and one rooted in fear. Fear of forgetting, fear of change, fear of holding her accountable to her own life needs, rather than the public's mourning cycle. But Vanessa's life has never belonged entirely to the public, and it deserves space to breathe. She wrote, "Only those who can accept where I've been deserve to walk with me into where I'm going." That line applies not just to love, but to respect. We must decide, do we allow her to keep going, to heal, to explore, or will we continue to police a life that belongs to one resilient, remarkable woman? The stage is hers. Our job is simple: let her walk. Some people take years to heal after losing a spouse, and when they finally decide to move forward, it doesn't mean the loss was easy or their love any less real. But in Vanessa Bryant's case, public judgment hasn't been kind. As the years passed, rumors surrounding her love life didn't fade, they intensified. Speculation swirled about a potential pregnancy and a mysterious new man, with names ranging from young basketball players to even former friends of Kobe. Vanessa, ever poised, responded in her own subtle way, sharing Rihanna memes that basically told the world to stay in their lane. But the gossip took a darker turn when people began claiming Vanessa had been unfaithful even before Kobe's death. Supporters quickly defended her, pointing out that even when Kobe was alive, he had his own share of missteps, most notably a high-profile cheating scandal that nearly destroyed their marriage. At the height of their family life and Kobe's demanding career, the couple was thrown into chaos when he was accused of assaulting a 19-year-old. Though Kobe denied the assault, he did admit to infidelity, forcing Vanessa into an unforgiving media spotlight. His public apology and a $4 million ring couldn't erase the emotional toll. But Vanessa stood by him regardless, graceful, quiet, and loyal. She never gave interviews or aired their personal struggles, even when she had every right to. Some mocked her for staying, while others admired her strength. Yet now, many of those same voices seem to have forgotten that resilience. Critics are rewriting the past, suggesting Vanessa's loyalty was calculated, claiming she too had been unfaithful, just more discreet. As whispers of mutual betrayal gained traction, internet sleuths combed through old photos, searching for proof that Vanessa had been unfaithful all along. And just like that, the woman once praised for her grace became the target of a narrative determined to paint her as no different than the man she forgave. Asterisk.
Vanessa Bryant pregnant? Nah, hell nah. The black mama. There's no way. Hell nah. That heifer pregnant, man?
Every frame, every video, every innocent moment of Vanessa Bryant's life has been dissected under the internet's microscope. But before diving into the rumored men linked to her post-cope, it's important to acknowledge how her daughters, especially Natalia, have been unfairly caught in the crossfire. Just as Natalia was celebrating a major milestone, her graduation from USC, at only 22 online, gossip tried to snatch that joy away, flooding social media with unfounded rumors about her mother's supposed pregnancy and the identity of a new man. For someone who's already endured unimaginable loss, Natalia's strength has been remarkable. Being the firstborn of an icon like Kobe means living under constant pressure, with expectations placed on her that most young adults never face. Despite this, she's carved her own path, balancing academic success with a promising modeling career. Still, the public didn't let her moment shine. Instead, they dragged her back into her family's private pain. Now, with Vanessa no longer playing the role of eternal widow in the eyes of some fans, people have turned to Natalia, almost demanding she take over the emotional responsibility of preserving Kobe's legacy. And while she's honored her father beautifully, it's clear that for many spectators, nothing will ever be enough. The speculation only deepened when the narrative shifted again, this time pushing the idea that Natalia, having grown up inside the Bryant home, holds hidden knowledge about her parents' real relationship. People began to imagine that behind the smiles and public appearances, Natalia had witnessed all the messy truths, the heartbreak, the mistakes, and the consequences. Rumors swirled that while Kobe was away with the team, Vanessa was possibly entertaining other men. Though none of these claims have been proven, the internet latched onto names. And the one that raised the most eyebrows was Rob Pelinka, a longtime agent and close friend of Kobe. Rob was deeply embedded in the Bryant family's life. After Kobe's death, he became a support system for Vanessa, and their bond grew stronger. That closeness, coupled with a few viral photos, was enough to send gossip mongers into overdrive, spinning narratives out of grief and friendship, as if kindness couldn't exist without a hidden motive. The internet's fascination with Vanessa Bryant's life didn't stop at casual observations. It spiraled into full-blown frame-by-frame body language analysis. A simple birthday post for Rob Pelinka, a longtime family friend and Kobe Bryant's former agent, ignited an avalanche of speculation. The post, warm and appreciative in tone, featured throwback photos and a heartfelt caption. To most, it was clearly a tribute to someone who had remained steadfastly by Vanessa's side through unimaginable tragedy. But to the online rumor mill, it was something far more salacious, proof of a secret romance. Never mind that, Rob Pelinka is a married man, a devoted husband and father who frequently shares touching posts about his wife, Kristen, and their children. That detail, apparently, was inconvenient. Conspiracy theories rarely rely on facts. All they require is a pinch of curiosity, a blurred photo, and the willingness of thousands to fill in the blanks with projection and fantasy. In the vacuum of public information, whispers grew louder. Online sleuths dissected smiles, hand placements, and eye contact in photos from award shows and Lakers events. Headlines questioned the nature of their bond. YouTube thumbnails showed arrows, circles, and exaggerated facial expressions meant to expose moments that were, in reality, nothing more than glimpses of long-standing friendship. As the Rob Pelinka narrative began to cool and fatigue set in, internet swiftly redirected its gaze to another man close to the Bryant family, former Lakers star Pau Gasol, protector, uncle, friend, or something more. Pau's devotion to the Bryant family after Kobe's death has been both beautiful and unwavering. He's made countless visits to see Vanessa and her daughters. He's brought flowers on anniversaries, attended birthday parties, and been a gentle, consistent presence, especially for Gianna's sisters, who affectionately refer to him as Uncle Pau. It's a level of care that clearly comes from love, loyalty, and a deep personal sense of loss. But even that pure commitment wasn't spared from suspicion. Social media users began threading together screenshots, drawing timelines, and asking pointed questions. Why is Pau always there? Is he stepping into Kobe's shoes? Are Vanessa and Pau more than friends? What began as appreciation for his loyalty mutated into invasive speculation. People began overlaying suggestive interpretations onto otherwise benign interactions, like Poe holding Capri or walking alongside Vanessa. The irony, of course, is that if Poe had not been as present, the same people would have accused him of abandoning the Bryants in their time of need. His closeness became both praised and punished, celebrated and scrutinized. Such is the paradox of grieving in the public eye. When friendship becomes a tabloid sport, what these rumors reveal isn't truth about Vanessa's private life. It's a truth about us as a culture. We've created a system where women's grief is policed, and where every man who offers kindness must be romantically coded. We're so uncomfortable with platonic intimacy, with the idea that deep love can exist without sexual undertones, that we rewrite every close bond into a scandal. And for widows, the rules are even harsher. There's an unspoken expectation that Vanessa should remain in a suspended state of mourning, publicly devoted, endlessly alone. Any sign of joy, movement, or emotional connection becomes controversial. She's not allowed to live without the weight of judgment. Even her expressions of gratitude are viewed with suspicion. Whether it's Rob Pelinka or Poe Gassel, any man in her orbit is assumed to be waiting in the wings. But why? Because we don't allow women to heal without demanding they perform their pain. We want them heartbroken but composed, visible but not too visible, grateful but not too happy. The legacy of love versus the hunger for scandal. Kobe and Vanessa's relationship, like any marriage, had its complexities. It wasn't perfect, no partnership is, but it endured for 20 years through public scrutiny, private healing, and tremendous loss. That longevity left behind a powerful legacy, but now, that legacy is being hijacked by voyeurism. The idea that Vanessa would replace Kobe with someone from his inner circle isn't just far-fetched, it's cruel. It implies a betrayal that isn't grounded in evidence or humanity. It reduces the real, lived experience of grief and friendship to a tabloid trope, the widow and the best friend, and it discounts the depth of what Poe Gassel and Rob Pelinka have truly represented. Unwavering support. PAU, who named his daughter Elizabeth Gianna in honor of Gigi, has never sought attention for his loyalty. He simply shows up. And Rob, one of Kobe's most trusted confidants, has quietly stood by Vanessa's side without ever exploiting their bond for clout. These men have modeled something rare: male friendship, love, and integrity, yet even that is subject to suspicion. Let her grieve, let them. The real issue here isn't whether Vanessa is dating or not, it's why we feel entitled to ask. Why do we continue to pry into her life, analyzing every post, every photo, every laugh? What if there's nothing to uncover? What if her healing doesn't look the way we expect? In the end, Vanessa Bryant doesn't owe us anything. Not explanations, not timelines, not clarity. What she does deserve is the space to mourn, to move forward, to smile again without her every move being picked apart for clicks. And what Poe and Rob deserve is respect for standing beside a grieving family, not suspicion for doing what real friends are supposed to do: show up, over and over again, without an ulterior motive. The internet may thrive on speculation, but healing happens in real life, quietly, messily, and with no need for headlines. A steady support. It was inevitable that rumors would swirl, especially when he sent a bouquet of white roses on Valentine's Day. To some, that gesture felt romantic. But to others, it was simply the act of a compassionate friend ensuring that someone he cares about didn't feel alone on a tough day. Still, blogs weren't done. The spotlight then turned to Derek Fisher, a former teammate of Kobe's, and no stranger to controversy. People were quick to revisit his past drama, including a fistfight with Matt Barnes over a relationship with Barnes' ex-wife. So when Derek was seen alongside Vanessa at a 2021 WNBA All-Star Game event honoring Kobe and Gigi, whispers began again. Their closeness, their body language, the private moment they shared. Or perhaps it was just two grieving friends finding comfort in shared memories. What's clear through all of this noise is that Vanessa has built a strong, supportive circle to help carry her and her daughters through grief. And as for Natalia, she seems focused on blocking out the chatter, quietly living a life that honors her father and sister, not out of obligation to public pressure, but from a place of deep love. Whether or not she ever speak publicly about these swirling rumors remains to be seen. But for now, she continues forward with strength and grace, something even louder than words. Asterisk,